And I think another thing that people underestimate more is the weather.
Oh,
Is the weather. Canada is cold, fam. Like we're not in a cold region.
No, we're not.
But we still get up to -30, -25 during the winter.
Yes, we do.
Canada is cold, so it's some. Canada is cold. So if you know that, like, you're not designed for that kind of weather, it can be extreme. Fam, I've been at a bus station in winter because I didn't have a car, and like tears, like I'm crying because I'm so cold. I'm literally crying. Like I just felt like a homeless person that was abandoned and dejected. Why am I suffering in this foreign land? Just because cold got into my brain. You know, Canada is really cold and everything, and you're in the warm parts. So in the US, there are like warmer areas where they get like maybe 1 inch snow, 2 inch snow. You know,
that must be
so
nice.
You have more. Yeah, you have more options. So that's something to really think about as well. Getting sick. Some people get so sick during the winter, all of that. So and then winter jackets are expensive. You pay with your they want your broad.
Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Ask Mo. My name is Mo and I am a lawyer licensed to practice law in the province of Ontario and also in Nigeria. I create content for internationally trained lawyers who want to requalify in Canada. I also create content for graduate students and for people who are looking to settle down and succeed in Canada. Please note that whatever I say in this video is not legal advice. If you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please subscribe and let's make this channel bigger. Also, like this video and share this video if you find it very helpful. Also, do not forget to turn on your notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I post new videos. I also like to engage with my audience in the comment section, so if you are new here, please leave a comment. I also like to say a few things before I get into my videos, and the first thing I would say is, if you're an internationally trained lawyer and you have not gotten your copy of NCA Starter Pack, what are you waiting for? The link to get a copy of NCA Starter Pack is in the description box. Also, a lot of the information that I put out on my YouTube channel and in some of the articles that I write are general information. So if you still have very specific questions and you'd like us to sit down so I can address your questions and we can also figure out a way forward, you can do that by booking a one-on-one strategy call with me, and the link to do that is in my description box. I would like to talk to you guys about Get In Consulting. Get In Consulting is a consulting company that helps graduate students with their graduate school application. So if you're a graduate student and you're looking for funding or a scholarship, or you have low undergraduate scores and you just don't know how to get into your desired graduate school, Get In Consulting will help you with all of that. They will also teach you how to reach out to your supervisor beforehand, and you know, just everything that has to do with graduate school. I will leave the link to their resources in the description box, and I will also leave the link to their website in the description box. So if you're interested in purchasing any of their resources, make sure you use my discount code, which is Moyosara10, so you can get a discount. So how does maintaining your illegal status, you know, as a student while you're in school, how does that go in the US?
Okay, so in the US, I would say first thing I would say is keeping in touch with your Office of International Students. They'll always keep you updated. But for the US, I would say that no matter what you do, don't let your I-20 expire.
What's an I-20?
So I-20 is to the US as study permit is to Canada.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So I-20 is like it's not your visa, but it's like what allows you to be in the country as an international student, basically. So no matter what you do, make sure your I-20 does not expire. There are cases where I-20 is expiring before your program is over, but not likely, or maybe you changed programs, or you added an extra semester, or it really can be anything, whatever your situation is. So the key point is that your I-20 should not go out of status, because even if your visa expires, if your I-20 is still valid, you are good to stay. Yeah, you're good to stay. You just need a valid I-20. So make sure that doesn't go out of status as well. And I think that goes for the US as well. Your study permit
Canada.
In Canada, right?
Yeah, your study permit should always be valid.
Always
be valid.
Yeah. So keep in touch with the Office of International Students all the time. Whatever your case is, just keep having a conversation with them. This is my case. I want to travel back home. I want to do this. I want to do that, and then they'll keep you updated.
So we are going to skip life in school, because I have a whole video dedicated to your graduate school experience, and I'll be bringing about 3 other ladies who also went to graduate school in Canada, and they were talking about their graduate school experience. So we're not going to be talking about that here, but we're going to be talking about life after graduate school. So how is it like, getting a job once you're done? Is it easier in Canada? Is it easier in the United States? Talk about the postgraduate work permit. Everybody wants to have 3 years. Let's talk about that.
In the US, there's what is called OPT, and the full meaning of OPT is optional practical training.
And is that like work permits in
Canada? It is work permit in Canada, yes. So if you're in STEM, again, what is STEM? If you're listening, STEM is science, technology,
engineering, and math.
Yeah. You go. Yeah, so if you're in STEM, you get OPT for up to 3 years. So you get to renew 2 more years after your first year. But if you're not in any program that falls under STEM, you get only 1 year.
Okay.
So if you're coming to abroad to study, don't just think about my program and everything. If you have the intention of staying back, you have to start thinking from the beginning, my life after
I know.
My life after school and how I'm going to figure things out. And stuff. So that's one thing to think about. So in the US, there's that difference. STEM, 3 years. Not STEM, 1 year. But in Canada, that's not how it works. In Canada, it depends on the length of the program that you do. If you do a 1 year program or less, you get 1 year. If you do 2 years or more, you get 3 years postgraduate work permit. Yeah. So get the difference in that. So US is more about what program did you do. In Canada is about what's the length of the program that you did as well. So that's one. Then again, so if you have 1 year as a not STEM person, right? And then you have 1 year to find a job. God help you don't have work experience. You have 1 year to get work experience. You have 1 year to find a job. So now after that 1 year is up, people go with the hope that they find an organization where they work with that will file what is called an H-1B visa. Do your research about that, but H-1B visa is a work visa that lets you work for a company. So basically stating that in summary, we did not find a domestic person to do this work for us, and so we hired like an international person.
I see.
Yeah, that is H-1B. In Canada, it's called LIMA.
Yeah.
L-I-M-A.
Yeah. And I'm going to bring an immigration lawyer who is going to discuss, everything about LIMA. So you guys should watch out for that video as well.
So H-1B is not easy to come by. People pay up to $10,000 in lawyer fees and application and all of that to get that. I mean, even just finding a company that wants to file for you, it's work
because
itself.
It's really difficult, in Canada. So I'm sure it's almost the same.
It's pretty difficult in the US as well. So again, let me talk about the not STEM person. You have 1 year to get work experience. You have 1 year to find a job. You have 1 year to prove to your employer that I'm hireable and you can spend this money on me to file for the H-1B and all of that, which is, to be honest, unrealistic. Yeah, so whatever decision you have to make with this information, I'll let you make that. I'll let you decide. Now, for the STEM person, well, you have up to 3 years. 1 year, you find a job, you find something good. You can even change jobs. Like, you have enough time to do that. Find an employer that wants to file for you. So now this H-1B thing, you either pay, some organizations say, okay, you file with my organization, but you pay all the fees. You work for a good company, a Fortune 500, Deloitte, whatever, name them, you pay for all those things. But then they say you can't leave us for 10 years, you can't leave us for 5 years. So depending on whatever contract it is that you do, basically. Again, I'm just trying to get you to think of your life beyond your program.
And that's what I always say when I'm talking to lawyers who are interested in requalifying. I'm like, listen, I know you want to do a master's and all that, But what about the immigration part of it, right? It's also very important as well.
So you have to think about all of that as well. In Canada, you have, again, if you do it 2 years, if you do 2 programs 2 years, or a program that is 2 years or more, you get 3 years. So there's enough time for you to find a job, keep working. After 1 year of work, after 1 year of working, you apply for your PR, which you're almost sure to get. Depending on the government at the time, basically, and how favorable it is, and all of that. So think about all of that as well. And then, like, if you're just trying to come to school now, like, the Trump administration in the US is really tough. It's really, really tough as an international person. So immigration wise, Canada is a little bit favorable, I would say, and all of that.
Canada!
It's favorable. So think ahead again, think of your future. In my case, I didn't have anybody telling me all of this while I was applying. There was no Ask Mo. So I didn't know. I just made a decision based on what I want to study. I'm so passionate about communications and I came for that, not thinking about like life afterwards. As far as finding a job is concerned, I would say that again, the STEMs have it easier. Because the STEM, like, you're either in IT, you're in nursing, you're in engineering, you code something. Unlike us, that's all we do is talk for a minute. Or something else, or whatever. And so it's hard to find a job because every other person, like both international and whatever,
and that's in the US.
In the US, a lot of people do what you do already. So I personally found that it's harder. Most of my friends that were in STEM got a job. I'm not trying to say it's very easy to get a job, but for the 1 year that I stayed back in the US, they found something. So that's something to also consider as well. So I think Canada is, in that regard, I would say Canada is favorable.
Honestly, most of my friends who came here for graduate school, lawyers, non-lawyers, they got a job like right after graduate school in the first year, so.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So in that way, Canada is better, I would say. But again, like, if your focus is not like, staying back in any of these countries, or you're more concerned about what you would learn and all of that, again, like, let your decision be informed by the school you're going to. What will I learn? Which one is better for me? And all of that again.
I also want us to talk about one last thing, which is the cost of living as an international student. I'm going to do a whole different video on that. I already have a video about that, but I want us to just talk about it briefly. Which country was more expensive,
Canada! Canada is expensive, folks.
For international students, even as a working professional, it is expensive.
You're just trying to find your feet. You don't want to spend like $100 in groceries or $150,
or for a bus pass.
Fam, like a bus, just one trip of 1 hour, bus pass in Canada is $3. Am I joking?
Is it London?
London! Like, it's $3. What's really happening?
In Toronto, it's $3.25 for a token or something.
Are you serious?
And once you use the token, that's it. Like for 2 hours or something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But in the US, at least in the state of Delaware that I lived in, for $4.20, I have a daily pass. I can take the bus. If I like, I should just enter bus, come down, and enter bus and come down for the rest of the day. But I have it up until 11:59 and everything. How about food, right? There's like a lot of food options in Canada, in the US, and everything. And food is more expensive. You can go to a farmer's market. You can go to there's like more options.
Canada is expensive. Like, I can't even wait to release that video. How about rent, accommodation?
Don't get me
started.
started.
If you are in an expensive city like Toronto or Vancouver, you are paying like in the thousands per month, and you still have room.
And it's just a one bedroom apartment.
Very
At
tiny.
least in Delaware, when I stayed, you can get like $750, $800.
That's so good.
And it's so expensive. It's expensive, maybe $8,000. A one bedroom apartment in this London. I'm in London. I'm not saying like you went to Toronto. You're not living in Vancouver. You're in London, and it is like 1,000, 1,200, and everything. I know people are paying $450 for a shared apartment that 6 people live in. So like, just your room.
It's
$500.
Like,
Canada generally is not a joke. Canada is
Yes.
expensive.
So if, as an international student, get ready. Like,
Yeah, you need to walk your ass off.
I know.
Not to scare you or anything, but like, yeah, Canada. Even how about like just shopping for clothes, shopping for shoes. The US has more options, more stores. This Canada, you don't have any option, and then a basic shirt is like $50. You're just like, kill me.
Oh my God,
And I think
yeah,
another
that.
thing that people underestimate more is the weather.
Oh,
Is the weather. Canada is cold, fam. Like, we're not in a cold region.
No, we're not.
But we still get up to minus 30, minus
Yes.
25
Yes, we do.
during the winter.
Yes, we do.
Canada is cold, so it's some. Canada is cold.
Tell them.
So if you know that, like, you're not designed for that weather, for that kind of weather, it can be extreme.
Yeah.
Fam, I've been at a bus station in winter because I didn't have a car, and like tears, like I'm crying because I'm so cold.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I'm literally crying. Like, I just felt like a homeless person that was abandoned and dejected. Why am I suffering in this foreign land? Just because cold got into my brain.
Yeah.
You know, Canada is really cold and everything, and you're in the warm parts.
Yeah.
So in the US, there are like warmer areas where they get like maybe 1 inch snow, 2 inch snow. You know,
That must be
so you
nice.
have more, yeah, you have more options. So that's something to really think about as well. Getting sick, some people get so sick during the winter, all of that. So and then winter jackets are expensive. You pay with your they want your blood.
Unfortunately, video has to end. Thank you so much, Dorcas, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It was so much fun. If you guys have any questions, about graduate school in Canada or in the US, you can always reach out to me. Send me an email or something, and I will pass your questions across to Dorcas. And Dorcas, thank you so much for everything that you said today. So, how would you tie in everything you said? Everything, tie it in together.
I would just say, like, know your goals before you come, and let your goals align with every decision that you're making. Do your research, ask questions. Very importantly, keep emailing the schools that you want to come to. That's why they're there. That's why that office was created, to answer all your questions as well. What else would I say? No factor is too small. Cold, money, whatever it is, and everything, and you have more options. Don't deny yourself the opportunity of grad school because you're afraid that it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Explore all the options that you have and make the best decision.
If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, why?
Subscribe to Ask Mo.
Please, subscribe to this channel and also like the video, share this video if you found it very helpful. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Ask Mo. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.